I probably should have done this a little different. Whoa, what the hell? What? Ooh. Ooh. Yep, you do the fire damage. You're definitely doing that. Oh, wait, I didn't do the... I should have done the roar. Welcome back to ARK Fjordur, everyone, and I don't know if you can see me, but in case you can, we are again on the Shadow main now. I have been leveling up this guy, playing a lot off camera with him, just getting him the levels, getting him insane health melee. So for right now, I think I started at, what was it? If I do the quick math, minus 57, call it like 240. Oh yeah, it was 245, duh, I forgot. So this one we did manage to breed as well as imprint. So we got 100% imprint, which just means you got 30% damage output and 30% damage resistance. And again, looking at the stats, bunch of levels up into the health and melee. Literally, that's all you need for this. Stamina have only really leveled up once, so it lasts a long time between everything. Let me just move you there. Hello. Thank you. So got up to 30,000 health, which is insane. Like, it's so much health. It could take on... I even fought a Giga. Now, it was a low-level Giga, but still. Lost maybe like 5,000 health from that. Either way, it's fine. Melee, we got up to almost 1,000% damage. Now, comparatively, let me just show you. This is a trike. So consider that they will do damage buff, where damage resistance. So instead of doing a full amount, you'll do a percentage less, but still. What was that? Almost 600 damage just with a trike. Now, if we were to say, I don't know, attack this Lystro, it's about the same. So actually, trikes may not have the damage buff. Okay, so if you do hit the head, then you'll get like the 400 anyway. So that's that. Let me just do one quick attack on this poor Oviraptor. Damn it, I missed. Let me just get a fully charged thing. And I gotta say, I'm gonna use these aloes because I have been trying to do a couple things off camera, which is for the end game or really boss arena fights that are going to be coming down the wire relatively soon. And as you can see, this level is a male 55. Nothing crazy, nothing spectacular. It's just what it is. Now, these two on the other hand, you see it's a level 95 female, and then you got a 145 male. I already have a 150 male. I've been seeing well, not literal hundreds, but you get the idea. I've been seeing so many high-level males and absolutely no high-level females. It's absolutely annoying. Like, can I not do that? Well, real quick, why are you guys running? I know I'm terrifying, but could I at least show off the damage output? Alright, so let's look real quick. Alright, so consider that was because there was a mate boost, so can't really demonstrate this too well. But the special attack, holding left click, it does about 2,000 damage. It does about 2,000 damage when attacking a non-mate boosted, non-buffed anything. Let me just see if maybe I could get it on this turtle. Nope, not even that. Literally nothing can stop this thing. It's just an absolute tank, and it's just deadly beyond belief. So, is there really nothing else I could find just to show this off? I don't think this is going to survive the hit. Well, we're charged up, but alright, this should give me the number, right? Yeah, 21, almost 2,200 damage. This thing is going to do so much damage to literally everything in its path. Just commered it, that was a dodo, so yeah, that was that. Anyway, and I also, since playing around with this for a while, I've figured out you want to hold down charge when you're trying to do the jump dash, whatever you want to call it. I mean, not forever, you don't have to do it that long, but I find that if you do, you will go a whole lot further than just the little bit that I was doing before. And also, there's one last thing I didn't realize, but I guess it makes sense when you read the character ID. It does a damage, Hydra buff, like the Spino. So, health, regen, and damage are boosted in the water. So, if you are in that predicament, do that as well. Because since there's no oxygen bar, you're literally just absolutely gonna... No, damn it. Yeah, so now with the water, we do a whole lot more. So that's pretty much that. So if you are in an area where you could be in the water and fight whatever you're trying to fight, you get... Oh, okay. I didn't realize you get aggroed by doing that. Perhaps that is a thing. Who knows? Anywho, that's another thing I didn't even realize, because everything I've been killing's just been, I guess, neutral or aggressive the entire time. Or dead after one bite. So that's pretty much that. Now, as you can see inside, couple little things I gotta show you. One is, well, let me just slowly make my way over here. So, oh, damn it. Yeah, so this thing is not a crazy good swimmer, but I mean, it does move. So, if you are in certain areas where you can swim, definitely use a shadow main if you have the means to get one. Now, first and foremost, I want to address a couple things with the base. Nothing new with the crop plot farm, so that's that. The narco farm, in terms of the narco area, the couple added things, like I said, the acatinas, I grew a few up, so that way they're making a cementing paste. Well, their version of it, but you can still use it interchangeably. Got this whole dedicated area for it, so we got about almost 300 here. Probably a couple more hundred on each one, because they do... Not only do they pass it, like, when they wander, they will drop their own. They also, I guess, create it on their inventory, so, I mean, that's cool, too. But the kicker about it is that since they create and breed, technically, every time you do that, these snails are not being harvested by my Megatherium like I thought it would. I have literally no idea why. It's on aggressive. It's on wandering. It hasn't budged once. I've literally moved it and harvested everything. So, I don't know what's going on here. Let me just... Yeah, I literally cannot understand why this is what it is. Oh, well, there's a lot of babies here. So, I mean, I guess it's good to have, but not really what I was trying to do. Let me just... You know, for right now, we'll just leave all this on you because I don't really require any of this right now. It seems like all the babies are getting locked over here, so I guess every so often I'll just check on it, and then I guess, you know, gotta kill the babies and move on from there. But anyway, that's with that. Now, the main thing, I also called it White Shadow because for anyone that watches and knows what Turbo was back in the day, I think that was, what, 2011, maybe 2013, you'd understand why I called it White Shadow, and if you don't, Google it real quick and you'll understand why. Now, Domesticated Beehive, we have it right here because the ones down there broke. Could not explain why or who or what happened, but they're all gone, so I just created with the leftovers I had one of these. I haven't been crazy with the honey production because I have a whole bunch here, and in terms of what I need it for, it's really just the kibble, and I have a bunch of kibble, honestly, for right now, so every so often I'll just make more if I come across more rare flowers, because if I'm correct, the recipe for it is quite expensive on the rare flowers. You need about 250. So everything else I pretty much have. The honey could always grab. There's no issues with that. But that's going to be this situation. Now, in terms of what we got going on here, it's very hectic. I will say that. This is all, like I said earlier, for the end game or the boss fights coming up. So we got a bunch of the Spinos, which are near capped. I'd say they're soft capped. They all have the same stats for right now. 41 health, 34 points in stamina, 22 weight, and 34 in melee. Same with the, like I said, the male and the females all have that. I got, was it the 1 male and the 3 females right now? Then I got my Lonely Aloe, which again, completely annoyed that I can't find a single high-level aloe female, but hopefully in due time I do come across one, because that would be great. Plus the coloring on this one, because there is, what I didn't know in the last video, it's the Easter update, so there's going to be a bunch of new coloring added for a limited time, and then I guess it goes into Summer Bash, and then I guess it really stays till whenever, but anyway. Then we got the Rexes, so these stats, I believe, are slightly different. 32 health on the female, 42 stam, 38 weight, 37 melee, and I believe the male has a little more. 32, 42, 38, 37. Actually, 32, 48, 38, 37. I think they're the same. Yeah, so they're actually the same thing right now. So 240 and 248. I don't know how they're the same, but anyway, last but not least is all the eggs that I have yet to incubate and technically let hatch. I do not have any Rexes at the moment because, again, this one is still adolescent, but I got the 2 females and then the 1 male, right? 2, 4, yeah. So they're going to be, what is it, almost done, right? They got about 10%, roughly 12% to go. Now, to the main point of today's video. You saw how great White Shadow is, and that's just one single high melee damage Shadow main. I want to know what would happen if we try taking on Hody and Skull, which is in the Asgard biome, that mini-boss, which technically, if you are up on Nordic mythology, just like everything else in this game in terms of the bosses and everything, obviously except for the main ARK ones, they're all related to Nordic mythology. So the Hody and Skull are technically the spawns of Fenrir, which is the ultimate boss in the game, and they are destined, which once you see when they spawn will make a whole lot of sense, they are destined to consume the sun and the moon during Ragnarok, which essentially for Nordic mythology is like the end of the world, the apocalypse, Armageddon, you know, all those variations in that respect to that culture and religion. Now, what I want to know, since I've breeded up literally all the 245s that I mean, I could do more, but I don't think I need any more. I want to know, is 100 Shadow mains with mate boost, pack boost, and everything boost that there is. I don't know about a hydro buff, but hopefully that works out if it does. I want to know if 100 Shadow mains is too much, a fair amount, or too little to take on the Hody and Skull boss fight. So let me grab, well, not all of this. Let me let you guys incubate because, well, I could drop these, but I'm going to just do it later because I don't want to deal with this right now. We got all the 100 Shadow mains. Oh, I forgot to drop all this off. Let me do that real quick before I get encumbered and overstacked with everything else. Don't need that, don't need that. I will take the brains because I do need that eventually. Let me just take care of this real quick and then I'll be back in a moment. So this is the Hody and Skull terminal, and I do apologize if I'm saying it incorrectly, whether I was saying it incorrectly as Hody or incorrectly as Hady. Either way, let me just kill you real quick just because. This is the terminal to summon Hody and Skull. So what you do, similar to the Bela boss, insert the runestones, start the summoning process, they get summoned, then you fight, kill them, bada bing, bada boom, all done. Now, real quick, before I summon it at all, I just want to check out this terminal, and I gotta say, this looks super cool. Even, like, it's got a little more, oh, let me get some water. It's got a little more, like, artwork and decoration and detail comparatively to the Bela boss. I mean, look at it. It's just space. Now, again, the Nordic myth is that they are the ones destined to destroy the sun and the moon, so I guess it is quite fitting to have a portal into the universe where they would be summoned from. So if you want to try to take this one on with just one dino, you definitely want a high level, high melee damage, and obviously a high health buff to it as well, because the two of them together, I don't know because I haven't seen any video. I really haven't watched any videos except just to see where it is, which obviously I'm looking at right now. I don't necessarily know if they get mate boosted because technically they're siblings, but they're both males. If it works like with ARK, then they don't. But then again, they might not necessarily have a mate boost, but each one has a different kind of attack. I believe the sun may do fire damage and the moon may do electric. Could be wrong. I'm just assuming here, and I've based off of like the 1 or 2 comments I read on certain videos, that may be the case. But nonetheless, we have a couple of things that I say are in our favor, which and basically is just 100 Shadow mains. So let me start by letting all of them out. Then I'm going to level up all their melee because how many levels do they have? 22? Yeah, they're going to start at, I think that was like 300-ish. So now they'll be at almost 700. So let me just double check if that is the case. Yeah, so they started at 371. You level that up, and now they have 6, almost 700. And one other thing I did want to try, I believe, nope, not that. If you hold, what is it? I saw a thing where they could have like a mate boost where everyone comes invisible. Oh, there's the thing. So when you hold X, instead of the mate boost roll that the males have, all the females can turn all shadow mains invisible. So that's pretty cool. And then they all come out and then they're ready to go. So I'm going to take care of all of these shadow mains, which will probably take a few minutes. Level them all up, and then we'll get going on this boss fight. Oh, you had 30 levels. You've been there a little longer than the others. So you'll have a little over 700, right? Yeah, about 800. Alright, so let me take care of all this, and I will see you guys in just a moment. Here are all 100 shadow mains. Now, I actually only leveled up a couple of them to where they're, like, better melee. But I think, honestly, in terms of the numbers, if they all got about 300 to begin with, I honestly feel like we're absolutely going to just shred this thing very fast. Hopefully that is the case. Again, I have never seen a video on the boss fight or anything, so I have no clue what I'm to expect. But again, hopefully that isn't an issue. Now, they do have varying armor, which is kind of unfortunate. But then again, when I looked at all of them, even from like Primitive, Ramshackle, and I think the most I got after that was the Apprentice, which is blue, they all were 80 regardless. So I guess naturally they're all going to have 80 armor no matter what level or what you get. So hopefully that doesn't affect anything. Now let's get everybody here. So there's not much to really do except to summon this guy. Well, these two guys. Insert it and then just let it rip from there. So we gotta insert the runes. And here we go. They have been summoned. I see them forming. It's like Ghostbusters. Which one is going to be deadlier? I guess we'll just split everything up and we'll just go off of this. Now, I don't necessarily know the damage. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately there are not too many of them hitting. So that kind of screws things up. I guess let's just focus on this. I probably should have done this a little different. Whoa, what the hell? What the? Ooh. Ooh. Yep, you do the fire damage. You're definitely doing that. Oh, wait, I didn't do the... I should have done the roar. I can't even move. I mean, we are shredding them. It's just not many of them are actually doing, like, anything. Alright, what does this thing do? Applied light damage while exposed? So I guess the damage is technically reduced? Oh my gosh, I can't even move. I'm just flying. Alright, let's get everyone over there. And hopefully they circle in. Because I need movement. Now let's just drag everyone. Please move over. Oh my goodness. This was kind of a dumb idea to have this many, but at the same time, I thought this was gonna work a lot easier than it is. Neutral. And then just have some of them come over here. Right? Spread it out. Focus fire was this. Your movement speeds. Alright, they're only really just I can't even get in now. They're definitely killing them quite easily. I guess let's just help them out. Nobody is dying, at least I don't think. That's the roar. That's gonna... Let's just keep roaring, honestly, because they're doing most of the work for me. Although I'd like to get in it, now I'm kind of like... just kind of screwed in terms of, like, everything. If I could get... Yeah, I think there's no point in having them, like, actually do much anything. Like, this guy's halfway done. This one's about a quarter done, and I am stuck completely. So, Shadow means definitely in... What the hell? I guess that's your fire attack that you do that? Interesting. Yeah, I can't even get in it now. I'm just gonna keep roaring and mate boosting them, honestly. And we'll just keep doing that and let them shred everybody down to size. Yeah, it really sucks. I thought the back of the pack was actually going to be closer to get to the middle, but it seems like that's not a thing. It's just a bit chaotic at the moment, but one of them, the trick is that I did see that you want to eliminate at least one of them, so that way there's obviously less to work with and less damage, but looks like we're going to be losing the fire damage one, which is kind of more of a problem compared to, I say, the snow ice one, simply due to the fact that, alright, skull is gone. Awesome. Yeah, the ice one is just slowing down. You guys are attacking, right? Now you are. What am I hitting from over here? Maybe, I guess you just have a large radius. Ooh, wow, that May boost really does enhance things. Let's run it again. I think we already did. We'll just keep getting into it, I guess. I don't know if that helped or hurt, but we are stun locking it. So yeah, what is this, Haiti then? Haiti is like not even much of a threat because all it's doing is every so often does like that snow glacier effect, and it's just reducing how much damage you put. It's really not doing any damage. Like, look, it's doing what? I think it said 20, if I'm not mistaken. There's like barely anything going on. So honestly, if you are to do this, 100 Shadow Mains is probably overkill. Maybe 50, but the only number I'm not sure of is how many of them are hitting and how many of them are not hitting. Like the ones on the outskirt, I truly have no idea if they're actually doing any damage to it, to the bosses. I know the few like minions that spawn, they'll probably circle around, like the one in the back right there. That was probably getting shredded, so the outskirt and Hades done too. Alrighty then. Let's get everyone, I guess, over here. So maybe I could check the loot crates if there's anything. Excuse me. Pardon me. Just gonna get right over there. Yeah, that was really easy. Again, I had like had 100 Shadow Mains. Do not know if any of them were like actually doing anything comparatively, but none of them died, so there is that. I guess let's harvest. And where is your stuff? That's you. I think what happened, whoever killed it took it, so I didn't kill it. That's for darn sure. Can't harvest it, so I guess I'm just gonna have to put all of these guys away and see what kind of loot we really got. I know we definitely got the relics of each, the Haiti relic and the skull relic. Now just a matter of putting these all away and then checking the loot crates or the item caches to see what is our rewards for doing this. If I had to take a guess, I'm probably going to get some kind of a weapon, like a melee weapon. You know, like how the alphas usually drop stuff, like the pickaxes, hatchets, maybe a couple of different guns, etc. You are not mine. Well, you are, but you're not White Shadow, I mean. Almost done. Let's see, who had the goodie bag? Alright, it looks like here is one of them. Whoa. What? So that's the relic. I don't even know. Well, mining drill. I didn't know you could get that. Mantis salad. An ascendant AR. Awesome. An ascendant card saddle. Gonna probably just use that real quick. Element. Cool. Let me grab that actually. Hazard suit shirt. Is that better than the current thing I have? Yes, it is. We're just gonna swap that out. Carcanos, I haven't seen a couple of those. I definitely want to grab them now. So that's amazing. And Where is the... I saw it, I think. There it is. And this should have the... So that was a Haiti, right? This is a skull. So we got an Ascendant Whip. Alright, I guess. An Ascendant Dodigerous Saddle. Cool. Crossbow. This is 630 durability, 270. Alright, this isn't as good. We got a chainsaw. That's cool. And what is... And then Ascendant Andrew Sarkis Saddle. I'm telling you. These bosses are fairly given some pretty damn good loot, if I have to say so myself. Like, absolutely amazing. And it really is inexpensive. I mean, all you gotta do is kill a few alphas, and you basically got the 30 you need. So that's not even that difficult of a thing to find and come across. And in terms of health, honestly, nobody really lost much health. It seems like the most well, keep in mind, the few that were actually in the fray actually lost probably, 400 to 500 health, maybe. Everybody else is probably healed up by now if they lost a little bit of damage. But in terms of, like, going forward, this may even be a strat for boss fights. Because in the rare chance, say you lose a couple of them, right? You have, like, so many extras surrounding that they'll just replace and pick up where the last one left off. So, in terms of that, you really can't go wrong with having a Shadow Main army. At least from what I could tell. It's cool that each one gives their own loot rather than just one set of loot for the bunch. Because that's kind of a little unfair. Like, similar to, like, let's say you had to fight 2 Bela bosses, right? Okay, maybe bad example, but say we were fighting both Haiti and Skull, and rather than getting 2 sets of loot and items, you only get one of those sets. So it's kind of, that would kind of be unfair. But luckily with this, you didn't have to have that issue. Hello, Dodickers. I don't think there are any allos that spawn in here. At least not many of them. I might check it off cam in between, just to kind of see, because again, I do need that high level female Allosaurus, wherever she may be hiding. That's probably going to be a different time in the series. Now, to summon the Fenrir boss, which I'm obviously not ready for, nor am I going to do yet, I'm going to obviously go for the alphas. So, with that being said, all I need is the trophies for the dragon, the Megapithecus, and the Broodmother, which to get them, you just need mostly all the artifacts and certain alpha drops. I forget which ones the apex drops you require, but I know there are some things I have. I know I need Bezo, Blubber. I think I need some, the squid tentacles, whatever it's called, the pseudothesis. I think offhand that's what it's called. I truly don't know. But in terms of, like, the couple other things I need, that's really gonna be it. Let's see, did you get... No, you really didn't get any levels. Probably a couple of these got levels, but again, I didn't even really level any of them up. Just destroyed and decimated these 2. So I will say this was kind of a unfair situation to fight. At least not for my sense. Like, any advantage is good for me. I'm saying in terms of the Haiti and Skull bosses, they were definitely outnumbered, but in terms of the actual damage output, I thought they were going to do a lot more. That's why I compensated with 100 Shadow Mains, because I was thinking with just 11 Shadow Mains, even with high damage like this one, like the White Shadow, they're probably just going to destroy me and shred me within like a few short minutes. So I figured, you know what? Why not go big? Let's get all of them out. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be a fair fight, but turned out that's just... It was an absolute slaughter. Just like Bela boss, I'm literally just destroying every boss that I come across, which is good. It takes less time, which is also a convenience. But in terms of just fighting alone, I really thought they were going to be worse than they are, but apparently they're not. Can I kill you? There we go. Because you are a bane of my existence. We got the Spinos in there. The Rexes are fully grown, so they should be mating momentarily if they haven't already. Let me check what I have in here. It's just berries and meat, so I'm good on the meat for right now and the troughs and everything, because there's not too many babies being born that require it, because when I was doing, actually I'll cook this prime meat because I do need that. Let me see. Let me just grab the rest of this stuff. Yeah, I found, although I did make a breeding pen, it's gonna sound stupid. I did make an entire breeding pen, right? How many we got? Nope. How many we got in here? A lot of Spino eggs, a couple of Rexes, but that's fine. I think I accidentally, yeah, I did grab the stack. Let me get a full 3. Okay, and let me do that. Perfect. So yeah, it's very reverse from what I'm doing. I did make a whole entire breeding pen, got everything there that I needed. All the stuff was set up. Everything was electrified. Everything was working. Yet I'm breeding in here. The reason why is because I don't want to keep going back and forth, mainly because of water I have right here. Although I could just fly down there or make a new irrigation pipe into the breeding pen. I found it easier just to have them like this because they're all convenient, close to everything, and when I'm done, I can just throw them in terminal. It's just that. But I definitely still am using the breeding pen. Like, I use it for all the shadow mains. I definitely will be using it again for other things in the future. Just for right now with this purpose, I really am like, you know what? I don't need all of this to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. I will just simply take what I need and go from there. I guess that's considered a weapon. You know what? Before I do any of that, let me drop off the shadow means into here. Shadow, there we go. So that way I can see my inventory. Don't know why it transfers like 95 of them and not all 100, but it is what it is. So let me go over here. So yeah, you can see I've been quite busy with all the alphas and the apex drops. Few relics here and there. What I got? 2 of the where's the beta? Yeah, 2 of the belas. Now we got the 1 Haiti and the 1 skull. What else? I guess I didn't have anything else. Some Utranis lungs, some Giga hearts, which the Giga and the carts drop the same thing. So actually, that's another thing I forgot. Let me grab. Well, first I can just drop off this stuff. Let me grab my cart. Swap this saddle out with you. What is that? I need that one, so just drop this. I guess if I get another mantis, there's that. This is gonna get a little spicy in terms of space, but will you fit? No, you won't. You'll probably have to be done somewhere outside. Actually, I could probably just throw you right here for a moment. Really? Can you give me? Come on. Alright, we'll just go outside momentarily and get some water. There we go. Swap out your saddle. Let me grab this. So now it's got about 90% damage. I think if I'm reading it right, how it works, a 9% damage reduction, which is amazing. And actually, let me look at the hazard shirt. I mean, I guess there's not much to it. It's pretty basic and ordinary. So, yeah. That's essentially that. What else? Let me take you back. Thank you. And you had, what was it? Yeah, the meat, I gotta cook all that. Before I forget, let me throw all this. Don't worry, buddy. I'm still trying to find you with meat. Don't worry. Time is a-ticking, but we will get there eventually. Go. Well, I guess we could just do it like this. Turn that on. Cook all of this stuff up. There we go. Prime meat as well. And that should be all the meat on you. What else do I have? The armor. Let me drop this in here. Go back to the saddle there. Do that. We're gonna what is it called? We're gonna grind down the crossbow because I have the better ascendant one. Anyway, drop this in there. What I did find out. So around the map, there are certain caves and certain areas that will drop, or rather let you harvest the resource of the element dust. Now, I haven't been doing it primarily because, if you recall, I have a whole tech farm that gets me so much element dust over time. It's absolutely insane. Between the 2 magma swords destroying all the tech parasaur babies, I just get so much of it. Unfortunately, what I didn't know prior to until I did it and then realized my mistake, For element dust, you can craft it into element shards or the actual element. Now, you do got to learn it. It's, I think, the aberration Ingrams or whatever it is. So I thought how it works is you got to go from element dust to element shard, then shards to element. That is not the thing. It's either shards or the element. It's not one or the other. And if you try to grind it down, you'll just get dust, which I guess you could redo, but why would I waste a whole element shard when it takes, was it 1,000 element dust to make one element? When you only, I think, get the same return back, you only get one of them. So, not going to do that. I'm just going to let the magma swords do their thing every so often. Grab all the dust, bring it back, grind it down, or rather, stabilize it into element, and then have a bunch of element, because I do need to make a couple things that require element, but that's going to be later on. I think what you are required with element shards is to actually make, I guess, ammunition for certain tech things. I don't, again, know exactly what. I really haven't dabbled in the tech engrams or tech items at all, to be honest, so couldn't tell you what it is. I think maybe, just maybe, the mech has ammunition that requires shards, or maybe something does. I truly don't know. But regardless, that's going to be for down the road. Nothing for right now. I'm just getting everything set and grinding it up to have it ready for when that is. I'll just leave there for now. Let me see how many babies we have to hatch. So I don't know if any of these are soft capped, or at least if they're gonna be mutated. Hopefully they're mutated. That'd be great. Don't know why I could have just done that. Let's let all these kids grow, and we'll just check their levels momentarily, like so. Let's see if any of these will hatch, which they should. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of babies. You're incubating and you're too cold. Okay, you gonna get picked up momentarily. Huh. You wound up getting hatched without getting picked up. That's a first. Usually they don't last that long. Alright, let's see. We probably got a million, well, not a million, but probably a couple twins in this. Alright, we have the Rexes. We'll do that. Oh my goodness, there really are that many Spinos. We'll start with the Rexes because that's the quicker thing. And then you can get an idea of how I'm doing this. So, females is 32 health, 42 stam, 38 weight, 37 melee. Let's see, 32, 42, 38, 37. You're the same. 32, 42, 38, 37, 32, 42, 38, 39. So this is going to be our next phase of breeding with the female. You are going to replace your mother, whichever one that was. Are you done yet? No, you'll be done momentarily. Let me, in the meantime, get you some food, which I'm keeping on the horse just so I don't have to go back and forth. And it'll be a lot easier to grab and go. That was your baby, right? So you are good to go. Cool. Let's get you over here for the space. We'll go, I believe it was a 250 baby, right? This one has a 39 melee. I'll just grab you some food. 39, yes. So the female Rexes that I currently possess that are going to be in this terminal, they are going to a better world and a better time and a better life. And then we will check on all these Spinos, which, yeah, there's a lot of them. Let's actually do it the smart way. So 41, 34, 22, 34 here. 41, 34, 22, 34. This one's got 43, so that's better so far. Oh no, what just happened? You just ruined everything. You freaking Spinos. You just messed up my whole thing. You were the 43. You're a 43. Alright, we have a lot of 43s, actually. I don't need that many. I'm just going to probably have the one, maybe two, just for making everything easier on myself. 43, 34, 22, 34. maybe check for any colors, because they seem to be similar to the shadow mains. They're kind of capping with that green color. Not seeing any more mutations, unfortunately, so that is a bit of a bummer. But in terms of breeding purposes, I guess that will do. So any of these got different colors? I think they're all going to be the same. So I'll just keep the one for right now for the female, and then we'll compare that to the ones we have, see if they're any better. And then the males, let's see what the best of this one is. 41, 34, 22, 34, 43. And probably all of these will be the same, right? 34, 22, 34. I checked that one. 22, 34. Oh, this one's got better stamina, so that's good, but you lose the health. It's got the mutation. I don't know yet. We'll see if we get something better, because that is 41. That's 43, 34. Do I really need stam? I mean, it wouldn't hurt. I think because this one is going to be a 43, I feel like they'll figure each other out breeding-wise. Now let's just compare. Wait a second. Did I not check the male Rex yet? 32, 42, 38, 37, 32, 42, 38, 37. Okay, so got to get rid of that Rex in just a moment. Let's check the female to this. So 43, 34, 41, 34, 22, 34, 22, 34. Okay, so you're better than that one. Probably going to be the same scenario with this one. 41, 34, 22, 34. Short-term memory. Awesome. And then you're also a female, right? 41, 30. Yeah, so all these females are going to be gone. Like that. I don't want any more you being bred, because you'll just be repeating. And then the male, 41, 36, 43, 34, then 22, 34. So we will take you as well out of here. Grab the male and female baby of the Spinos, which we'll just throw right here. There's one, and there's two. Now, mutation-wise, you got, ooh, your sail is light, was that blue or white, comparatively to the orange, and you still got the green underbelly. Aesthetically, this one looks better, but I mean, I don't really care. I'm just more concerned with the stats, so we're just gonna drop food onto you and to you. We'll take care of that in just a second. And then we'll kill off all of these dinos, like this. I guess I can check by the tech farm just to see if anything new is going on. If I could get any more resources, and potentially you got a bunch of meat. I'm just going to throw it on the Equus, however you pronounce it. Let me grab you, drop that off, and do that. Actually, while I'm at it, since it's a lot easier to use an Equus for a smithy, for a mortar and pestle rather than chemistry bench or even a mortar and pestle itself. Although it takes a little more time than a chemistry bench, you don't have to keep fueling it with gasoline. You could just drop it in and go. As long as it's saddled, you are able to do everything. So that's pretty much that. I'm sorry I couldn't get you a female for this episode. Hopefully soon enough you will start breeding and making absolute units for babies. Because the reason why, so let me explain everything, in case I haven't already. The Rexes, from what I heard in the comments and also just in general, you breed up a strong pair of Rexes, they're going to destroy a lot of things in this path. Spinos, same concept except for the fact that they do attack faster, so their rate of fire is a lot higher comparatively to a Rex. But they do have a hydro buff, which when in water they will increase damage and I believe damage resistance. Don't know where really, depending on I guess where certain bosses are. I don't know there's regions of water that will make them really useful, but since I found max levels, I figured might as well in the event we do. And the Allosaurus, comparatively to a Carno, but I figured the Allos are a little better because of just, I guess you could get better stats with them compared to a smaller Carno. They do have the bleed effect like a Giga, so when you're fighting bosses, they'll drain health a lot faster once the attack is triggered. And a few of those in a pack, you get the pack boost as well, similar to the Shadow Maids, Direwolves, and everything else like that. So let me do a real quick look at the tech farm, which again, it's completely automated now. Aside from the fact that every so often I do have to transfer the resources. Let me just get into this kill room because it's probably a bit brutal in here. Yeah, there's a lot of bodies in here. You know what? I'm just gonna let it build up over a bit more time. I mean, look at all these. That's just terrible. I mean, for them, not for me. For me, I'm getting my resources. Got the Deinonychus there and there. Haven't even needed eggs in a while because, again, I still have all of these 4 vaults filled with eggs, and more eggs. So, realistically, the only thing left to do for the base, because the breeding pen is done, the tech farm is done, the kibble farm is essentially done. All I gotta do now is this gacha farm, which I'm pausing for the simple... Actually, one thing I haven't checked in a very long time is if I'm getting the owl pellets. Because if I am, that would be absolutely great. No, I'm not. I think I have to have them outside. Well, either way, I guess I gotta let these things grow up too. Damn, I thought they were gonna start just... Is there an option for it? Automation, pellets, wait a second. Should I have been... I think I should have had that marked this whole time. Passive generation. I'll see if that's the thing, because poop, I don't think pellets are considered the poop. And then the reason why I have this here, so I'm debating a couple things. One, do I want to keep the owl pellets inside here and let them manually, like, over time, start producing the pellets inside here? Because if I do that, then I could go, where was it? Automation, no, yeah, right there. Automation, it'll distribute it to the gachas. Or do I just have them loose here, like have them on the ceiling so that way they drop their pellets, and then the gachas will eat them, consume it, make the materials, the resources, the items, etc. And then the second thing I'm at standstill over is whether or not I want to have the gachas like here loose naturally, or if I want them in the, what's it called, the gacha, not there. Let me check it here. If I could only type, that'd be great. Or do I put them in the gacha gavager, which allows them to be a lot closer and have more of them in this small area? Because I did realize after I made it, actually more so recently, so like a couple of weeks after I made this thing, the thing is that according for this size, I realistically can only have a gacha here and at the far corner. And maybe, how many is this across? Because if it's 10, I could have 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I really could only have 2 gachas in here. Maybe a male and female, and maybe another set. I truly don't know. Because if I then have them automated in the Gavagers, then I got to make a tech replicator, put that somewhere else, and that requires a whole lot of element. And then it's not impossible. It'll just take a long time for that tech farm to produce the element I need to make the rest. So in terms of that, that's going to be that standstill for a little bit of time. Comment down below whichever way you feel is more ideal, whether you don't mind the Gavagers or you prefer them to not be in the Gavagers. Because if you don't, then I got to rearrange how I build it, which isn't impossible. Then I just got to make it more vertical, which is a bit annoying. It'll be more time consuming, but again, not impossible. But that is going to do it for today's video. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you come back here regularly, you might as well. It would just make your life easier. Plus, hit the notification icon so you never miss when I upload next. That, again, was the Hadean Skull boss fight. Absolutely insane. Again, I suggest if you're going to do it, Shadow Maids might not be necessary, but the more you have, definitely makes it a lot easier to get things going. But with that being said, hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care.